We are live at Z's Cream and Bean here in Hinckley, Ohio, 2706 Boston Road. It does border 4 cities, Rob. They are Brunswick,
Hinckley,
North Royalton,
Medina.
no,
Strongsville.
No.
Threw you off there.
Well, I know the S word's kind of forbidden around these parts, but it's all good. Just kidding, Strongsville.
Yes,
but we have a great show for you today. We have definitely friend of the show status at this point. If it hasn't been established before, we will officially christen it now. We'll also talk with a little bit with Brian Dulick, talking a little bit about the Cavs and what's been going on in the offseason. Obviously, a lot to get to there, so he'll break it down for us as well. But right now we have one of the assistant coaches for Medina High School, the Lady Bees. Where's Duffy at?
Oh, I know. The Lady Bees.
Well,
he loves doing that every time.
That's all, yeah.
For our football season,
for the football
especially
season,
for
he does that,
Braxville,
yeah. Correct. But we have this is a gentleman, this is a dude I've known for quite a long time, more than half of my life. He was one of my coaches back when I was like 9 or 10, way back in the day.
Make me feel old.
He's been with Medina for 11 years. We're with assistant coach Brad Wojnarski, and we also have 2 players. We have senior defender Katie Neat and junior forward Haley Anspach. Thank you very much for coming on the show. How are we doing today?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's a summer, so I'm sure they're doing
there's no school.
having
It's
fun.
fantastic. So we'll start with you, Coach. I mean, first, 11 years in, how are things going with you? Any major differences between this year and last, or maybe between this year and maybe the last couple of seasons?
We've hit the last 4 or 5 years. We finally got into our players that we started with in the youth program, and we've had great success from a one-loss standpoint, but we haven't quite met our goals. Which in a program like ours, it is basically state or bust. And then you put, like last year, they put Strongsville, Brunswick, and us in the same district. And there you got 3 programs with the same goals in mind. And at the end of the day, 2 of those teams are going to have disappointing seasons because we're in the same district. But we're in good shape. Got a great incoming freshman class this year, bringing back a lot of talent. Doing some things a little bit different in the tryout process, trying to make ourselves a little bit meaner, nastier, and tougher. Because last year we lost 2 games, and quite frankly, we just got physically beat down by Strongsville in both games, and so we've identified that as a weakness, and we're going to try to fix that.
Yeah, we're talking with Brad Wojnarski and Katie Neat and Haley Anspach, district finalists last year, as you said, being a very loaded district. How tough is it playing the same team twice in the same season, and for everybody?
I think playing the same team twice is hard, but since they beat us the first time, it's usually really hard to beat a team 2 times. So I think it gave us confidence when we were in the district final, but we just weren't physically ready, and they got us there.
With the pressure that Strongsville had on us on our first game, it really pushed us to want to beat them the second time, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And this year, hopefully, it'll bring us to a win.
Looking at your squad, you said team-wise you lose 8 kids, 6 starters. I mean, it seems like you guys go through that a lot this year. Talk about a little bit about last season and how far you guys went. Again, you guys are so impressive each and every year. What consistently do you guys do, whether it's, with the physical aspect or changing offense and defensive schemes? Obviously, it's probably got to be the same, obviously, from when they're young up to high school. But, what seems to change each year that you consistently use their talent really well?
Our strength is our youth program. And they get our kids – in general at 8, 9, and 10 get such a great foundation that the club teams around here, the International, CFC, Cleveland United, they're getting a lot of quality players, and then they just build on top of that. Well, those kids obviously all come back to us, and our talent pool is so deep. Like our JV team, most of those kids start at 90% of the high schools on varsity in the area. So, yeah, we lost 8 kids, but we had basically another varsity team sitting there in the JV level, that those kids are ready to jump up and help us out. From like you're saying, like an offensive, defensive standpoint, there's no secret what we do. I think we may have changed our formation 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was more born out of we had a lot more speed up front than we had in the past. So we wanted to get those players out on the field a little bit more. And we've kind of just stayed with that recently. And our goal production is up. Our back line and goalkeepers, the shutouts that they come up with every year, it's just we found a system that works for us right now. And like I said earlier, we got to be tougher at the end of the day.
And you guys, you do have an All-American player to replace this year as well, and Janice Joyner. So
yeah,
it's when we had the opportunity to speak with her, a couple of years ago, and I got to see her play. I believe in the state semifinals a couple of years ago. Tremendous talent there. How collectively, how do you guys all fill in or approach that, having to fill the gap that she's going to leave from graduation?
Well, you can't replace Denise. Denise was an amazing player, but with all the incoming freshmen and the returning varsity players, I think we could come together as a team and hopefully bring together the center mid like Denise did.
Did you guys learn from her? Katie, when you learn from an All-American that just plays as well as she does, do you ask her questions, or whether it's her work ethic or different schemes on the field, do you ask her a lot of questions and learn from her?
Yeah, I would actually ask her a lot of questions. She's really helpful and will give you advice if you ever need it. And being a junior under her when she was a senior, I really watched her and watched how she led the team and I'm trying to take after her leadership role and fill that gap a little bit more.
Yeah.
So she was really good to watch be under her.
Is that what you guys like? Do you guys like leading your team and helping out maybe the freshmen and sophomores and the girls under you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, make them feel welcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie, you're coming into your senior year. You've been a varsity since your freshman year, which is very impressive given the program that you play for. It means you really made a mark since being on varsity since being in 9th grade. How has your maturation gone from being a freshman to now being the senior, the person, the go-to?
When I was a freshman, I was really shy. I didn't talk very much. I just did my own thing kind of, and I would talk to other freshmen. I think since then I've grown a lot as a player and as a leader, and I've become more of someone people can go to and ask questions and help them with.
Now, I understand you're also a varsity point guard as a freshman and sophomore as well for the basketball team. How did that help you on the soccer field?
Yeah, that helped a lot because I wasn't expecting that with basketball at all, and then I had to come into the role and help that team, and I had to lead them as a point guard, and that really helped me grow with my leadership skills also because I had to help lead seniors who were way older than me too.
Was that difficult for you, or was it hard, or how does it feel being in that spot and then having to lead people a couple years older?
That was really hard for me, but the girls on that team really helped me feel comfortable telling them and helping them too. So they made me feel okay, leading them.
And on teams that the team's record that you've been on defense, 50 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie, and there's 42 shutouts. So that's something to be proud of. Mm-hmm. When you're playing on such a great team year after year, obviously you've had a huge impact on the Medina girls soccer team and program. Pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Haley, you're committed to Indiana already.
Yep.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, very impressive.
So you were one of the elite goalkeepers, a little bit younger,
Yeah.
and then you came over to the scoring side of things instead of being target practice.
Yeah.
How was that transition for you, going from goalie to being forward?
I just really didn't like the goalie position anymore because our defense was so good, and everybody told me that my speed would help me up top. So I just had to work on my skills because that wasn't one of my best things. So that's what I worked on, and it pushed me to become varsity player freshman year.
So the defense was so good. Did you ever fall asleep in goal?
No,
when
no.
they were that good, you were just sitting back there, drinking some water.
Yeah.
What were some of the skills that you're talking about here? You talk about maybe ball control, body control.
Mm-hmm.
Let me elaborate.
body position on the field, going east and west, and probably shooting the most because I would use my hands, not my feet most of the time. So that's what I would need help with.
Fair enough.
Well, she had 27 goals and 13 assists in her career, so pretty impressive there.
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah,
Nice job.
Absolutely. So, I mean, from your end too, I mean, you've been a part of this program as well. I'll ask the same question to you that I asked Katie. You're stepping into your junior year, which is, I'm sure you'll be looked upon from the freshmen and sophomores and helping Katie, in her class. How are you approaching this season?
Freshman year, I only had one senior, and it was Marin. But she really helped me be a part of the team and make me feel like family. So I thought that going on, I could try to take her place and be a leader and make everybody feel welcome and be a part of the soccer family at Medina.
Yeah, and Coach, you've talked about it every time we come on the show, just how important it is for that youth program, to be how important the youth program is, but also how important it is for your players to be involved with that. So, I mean, what have you ladies been doing to help, and helping out with the youth programs?
Well, we recently just had a youth girls camp, and all the high schoolers would go there, and then Coach Fox, she has a little girls team, so sometimes you would go to their practice and just look around and just cheer them on and things like that.
Yeah, at the youth camp, I feel like all of us as high schoolers make a really good connection with the younger girls, so they feel like they really want to become a part of us, like our team when they're older, and it makes them want to keep going through the high school program.
And from your end, how important is it for that to happen?
It's the reason for our success. I don't know if these guys will admit it or not. Well, first off, they're like rock stars to those little kids.
Oh, I bet.
And you go back to when they were that little. Where they're at now is like that was their dream, to be a Lady B. I know some of the girls like Maddie Stafford. She's going to be a senior this year, Miami of Ohio commit. That she still talks about our state championship year. Her big sister was Taylor Burke, which was the state high jump champ and won a state championship with us. Went to Florida, but she still talks about those days, looking up to Taylor Burke when she was a little kid. So I really think that's that tradition, and that old moniker tradition never graduates. That's what we have. We're blessed to have that, with everything we have going on. And these guys, I mean, I think they like it, right? When you're at the youth camp, I mean, those kids, they do look up to you, and it's kind of cool. And I know it can get irritating, but I think our girls handle it real well. And really, the last 5 or 6 years that youth camp, we've stepped back as coaches. The girls run everything. We just kind of organize it, tell them this is what you're doing over here, and then whoever's in charge sits there with a clock and says, all right, that's 15 minutes, everybody rotate. So the girls they're learning a lot in their leadership roles, and that by letting them kind of run that camp.
And I'll go to the Wayback Machine, Rob. Back when we were a little bit younger. I mean, that means a lot. I mean, because when I was in maybe 8th grade or something like that, maybe 6th, no, I was younger than that. Anyways, Brunswick went to the state championship in football in '95, and the year before, that summer, I went to the Brunswick youth football camp, and a bunch of the high schoolers that were there were coaches. I mean, they were helping us out, and we got to wear remember Steve Isaac? He was the tight end back then. Yeah. I think I got to wear his jersey at one of the practices.
And he probably didn't want to give it back.
No. I mean, I ended up being he was number 88. I ended up being number 8. But that was from that moment on, I was like, man, I gotta play for Brunswick. That's gonna be freaking sweet. Especially since they ended up going to the state championship that year. You guys kind of rinse and repeat that with it's just your guys' success every single year. It's so important. So that's just, and the fact that you guys all the ladies are really involved with that and know how much it means to be part of the youth program. You can't put a price on that, and you can't put enough into it. It's fantastic. Yeah,
I think you see a lot of the younger kids when they're younger watch the high school game. I mean, they all go to the games and watch you girls, and then when they go to the camp, just seeing you. I mean, I'm surprised nobody's asked for your autographs yet.
They do.
Do they?
Sign their shirts
okay.
and their ball and their cleats.
I've actually signed one autograph when I played baseball, and that was for a little kid that he still had. And even now, grown up, I know him, and he says, "I still have your signed baseball." And I'm like, that's probably worth about a penny right now.
Yeah, I have to sign one or two because I think the little girls feel sad because I'm standing around and nobody's asking me for my autograph. But no, they do that. I'll be at the stadium, and the girls will be in the locker room, and I'll have a little youth player walk by and say, "Can you get Katie out of the locker room? I want to get her autograph." And so it's stuff like that that's so cool
That's
about
really
our program
cool.
that really makes it different than everywhere else.
Well, and they want to be part of the winning tradition there, so they're like, that's who I want to be.
Right.
So it's really cool.
So who are some of the other players that are going to be helping you guys out this year? That who haven't played a whole lot on the varsity level, but are going to help you guys out. And then who are some of the returners that are going to help you guys out this year?
Some returners would be like Maddie Stafford in the midfield, Tori Delapia is our goalkeeper, MB Blakemore is she's like an outside wing or defense. Mm-hmm. A lot of the junior class will help us out a lot this year.
And Tori Lyncha, she's going to be a sophomore this year. And Maddie Albert, she was a key player in the midfield last year, too. She'll be a returning varsity player. And there's a bunch of incoming freshmen that are going to be strong that are going to be in the varsity pool this year.
Wow. Do they have anyone else that they missed their coach?
Chloe Tesney. She came up with some big goals in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
She was a freshman last year, right?
Yeah,
she scored a lot of just big goals.
Yeah.
Usually she was the one that would do it.
Got the clutch gene there, huh?
Yeah.
Bailey Olin is another one that'll be back. And then our JV team was undefeated. So, you can't discount any of those kids because it's not like our schedule is garbage. So for our JVs to go undefeated too is a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of competition, and the tryout process was changed this summer. That everything is scored from fitness tests to 1v1 contest, how many balls you win in the air. We've covered everything. We got 6 or 7 coaches on staff at this point, so we'll all be a little bit more busy this summer at tryouts, but everything's going to be recorded, and everybody's going to be held accountable for what they do. So,
yeah, and you guys, your league is. Your league isn't exactly the easiest in the Northeast Ohio area.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in the Greater Cleveland Conference, if I'm not mistaken, runners up last year.
Yeah.
Talk about. We've covered Strongsville and Brunswick. Talk about some of the other. I think we all know who the other teams are, but who are some of the other teams that you guys need to really make sure you focus on? Obviously, besides saying all of them, but besides Strongsville and Brunswick, who are some of the other ones that you pay attention to?
I think Mags and Perrysburg.
And we'll play Walsh this year.
Oh, yeah, Walsh is on our schedule this year, so that'll be a big game.
Yeah.
And we tied Perrysburg, I think.
So the non-conference is pretty.
But they're good.
The
too.
Non-conference is pretty
Yeah.
tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. Who else from the Greater Cleveland Conference besides Strongsville and Brunswick that are of concern?
Who's in it?
Does anybody give you guys fits at all? There's a lot of probably rivalries.
Yeah, they're not in the
with some of these
conference. We don't
teams.
have any of those kind of teams that
Okay.
that present matchup issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really a 3-team race. But out of the conference, like Hudson, for whatever reason, that's always a battle. And it's not even. I wouldn't even really call it a rivalry, but for whatever reason, there's a lot of bad blood. That game always turns into a chippy hack fest. And it might be. And this isn't a cocky statement. They just haven't beat us in 11 years. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Facts
got a
are
lot
facts,
to
man.
do with it.
Well, that might be why it's a hack fest. They're trying to take some cheap
and
shots.
it's always competitive. It's 1-0, 2-0. It's not like we blow them out. It's just I kind of get the frustration there.
Yeah.
But like Walsh, they're going to be loaded this year, and they're going to be angry because for the first time in 10 years they weren't in Columbus at the state final. Avon, that's a up and coming team. They had a really really good year last year, and they didn't graduate much. And Hathaway Brown the same way. Only problem for us is Medina, Brunswick, and Strongsville are in the same district. So those
I know,
three,
that's brutal, isn't it?
Unreal.
Yeah. So those three are fine. They don't have to worry about us until regional finals.
So they probably have a nice big smile on their face,
Right.
you know.
I'd
I
be
mean-
happy with that.
Yeah, I would too.
You know, Coach, Coach Dotson expressed similar, that similar feeling with respect to the boys' draw as well. You know, in the boys' district, it's a meat grinder there too. And you know, when you get out of that district, you've earned it.
Yeah.
You've certainly earned it, for sure. You guys play club.
Yep.
Who do you guys play for?
I play for internationals.
I played for
Boo.
CFC.
How has your club experience helped you on the high school level, and then vice versa?
I think my club experience helps me because I play with like different girls, and you go back to and you get used to like how those girls play, and the way our practices are a lot different than Medina's because we do more possessional things. Like at Medina, we still do a lot of possession, but we also do like finishing and like we work on more stuff than just possession. So I think when I'm at club, like I'm pretty good at like passing and all of the like main stuff, and then when I come back to Medina, I'm like better at specific things because we work on more specific things at practice.
At CFC, my coach is the Strongsville head coach, so we work on all the things like from heading to chesting to all your footwork and your agility, and it just brings a lot to going into high school with being fit and in shape for preseason, knowing that all the players that you played club with also did the same thing. So the competition going into regular season, it's just going to be hard, but it also pushes us to become better.
And do you ladies play any other sports besides soccer? I mean, I know you played basketball. You guys do anything else?
I run track.
Yes, that's right.
And that keeps you probably in shape
Yeah.
for soccer, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
you went to state for the 4x100?
Yes, we did.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome.
My God.
That's
so
a-
cool.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know.
blame you for not wanting to be a goalie anymore.
Yeah.
That's gracious. So how does we talked about how your basketball experience helps you. I mean, with track, I mean, it's kind of, well, and that's in your specific relay there's a team element to it, but you know, what can you take away from track that helps you out in the soccer?
We do a lot of endurance, so
Yeah.
I can run back and forth on the field knowing that I can last the whole game. And we do a lot of, like, I don't know how to put it, like footwork at track, even though you don't really like need it, but like how to run in the right form. So that kind of helps during the soccer game as well.
Well, sometimes it could make you last. I mean, running, I know if you go nuts with your arms, I mean, it's probably going to wear you down a
Tires
little
you out, I
more.
think.
And I learned that, I mean, in high school, I absolutely did not like running at all. And now I run a decent amount. So I picked up on things. I'm like, all right, how am I going to conserve energy? And I'm sure you guys, I mean, running, I mean, I get tired watching soccer, you know, run back and forth and all over the place. I mean, you got to be in unbelievable shape. And I think that goes
couldn't
back
do
to
it
your
anymore.
training.
I can't either. If you look at my stomach, it'll tell you that. I can't. I hate going from first to third in old man softball. That's how much I hate running.
So you just hit a home run every time and you won't have to do
Right.
that.
Thing,
Yeah,
wow.
shit, right.
No, these guys are in tremendous shape, and we don't spend a lot of time fitness-wise. We just try to get everybody to work hard in the drills we're doing because we just feel it's like wasting time if we don't have a ball involved. We're
Yeah.
wasting time. We figure we can, make training a little more economical if we can get the kids to work hard. We do have the fitness test in the summer, which they love. You know, they just love to see how far they can go. But
Now, what is your fitness test involved, if you can talk about it?
yeah, we
have like 10.
Yeah, we got a lot more
Don't we
this
have 10
year.
this year?
there's a lot more this year. But some of their favorites are the Manchester United test, which is a series of 2,100-yard sprints, and it's got a time limit to get down to the one end, and then they have the rest of the minute to get back to the beginning.
Okay.
To jog,
Yeah.
and then the next one starts. And once they don't hit the allotted time, they're out. And we usually get about 4 or 5 kids that'll actually finish that, do all 20 of them. We got the 400s, which I think this year it's like a minute 10 seconds for a 400, and then they get 2 breaks and then have to do it again. So they got 3 tries at that.
Okay.
What am I
Jesus.
missing?
The Cooper test.
Oh, the Cooper
Oh,
test, which is just a 12-minute run, I
Yeah.
think. And they just run on the track as far
go
as
as
they
far.
can go, and then they're scored based on where they are at the end of the 12 minutes.
And there's a cone drill one.
There's like a lot of them,
Yeah.
as long as you can last.
I thought there was another sprint test we did last year, but I could be
40s.
wrong.
Oh, we did the 40s last year, too.
No, we did a 40-yard dash,
And
which
we did
Haley
that
was the
3-cone
fastest.
drill.
Wow,
What? I
nice.
don't know what that is.
Yeah, Haley was like 4.6 or something.
Yeah, you
So
run
do you
really
just
fast.
go?
Jesus.
You go according to like her time, and then everybody else tries
Yeah,
to
it's like
either
on a
beat.
curve.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you can't hold it against everybody else.
I was
No,
gonna
it's
say
short.
that's
Just way
yeah.
too fast.
Man,
Yeah, when she went, nobody said anything the first time because like that's not right. And we had 3 clocks, so I mean we were all within hundredths of a second.
Maybe we should run it, and you could curve around our score. It'd be really bad.
if you guys want to look real good,
Yeah, that's
there's,
the
there's
point
still
here.
a challenge out there. I want to race her in the 40, but I was still recovering from a broken ankle last year, so
Oh.
this year maybe
That's-
it'll happen.
good excuse.
Yeah.
Good excuse. Me too.
Yeah.
Coach, it's been for the last 11 years you've been in Medina, and you've been involved with the game for a long time. How has the game changed fundamentally since from your younger years to where you're at now?
It's the game has definitely gotten more advanced, more skillful. The players are, you kind of talk about this when they talk about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. They're better athletes now. How that is, why that is, I don't know. But they're bigger, faster, stronger. In general, I think there's more access to the private training. Like the speed and agility stuff, strength, and that sort of training. And these guys, I mean, the club training that that they have available to them, it's really raised the level of the game. So it has changed. The competitiveness has changed. There's a lot more, especially on the girls' side. There's a lot more at stake when they spend all this money on the club soccer. I had one of my club parents a couple months ago when we were talking about a few things mentioned that this is an investment to him being involved in club soccer, and I don't like to look at it that way, but I guess I can see where that comes from. Like with these guys, and I bet their parents, because this isn't my first time through. Their parents, Katie and Haley's parents, are awesome. They're very supportive. They get it. And I think in, 10 years, they'll be the ones that'll be emailing me, telling me, man, I'd do it all over again. I'd spend all the money all over again to spend the time with them. And if you look at it that way, everything we do over all these years is worth it. Aside from the wins and losses, because like I have parents that have left, that have moved on. Their kids are 30 and have kids, and they tell me that they miss those days of being in the car driving to Castle down in North Carolina for 12 hours and being with their kid. But the game has changed. I mean, it's for the better, I think. But it's been a lot of fun. I don't know how much time I got left.
I don't know, man.
I
still got
did
some
step
years in
away. I stepped away from the youth program this year, but I'm coaching with Cleveland Football Club now. I've been doing that for 2 years, so I don't foresee a time where it's coming to an end. But I can see it more coming than say 6, 7, 8 years ago. Still having fun with it right now. These guys, they're kind of one of my, like, I coached Haley when she was 10. I never really coached Katie.
No.
That's cool. Don't worry about it.
She actually had another Brunswick guy who was her coach growing up, Jason Buellin. I forget what year he graduated, but I don't have that attachment with this next 3-4 years of kids until the 6th graders. Haley's cousin plays for me, and that group I'm attached to, so I got a window there where I could escape maybe.
It's got to be tough, though. I mean,
it
like
is.
you said, I mean, you get attached and you want to see them succeed and help the youth out too and continue that. So
it is a lot of fun, and we've done some awesome things at Medina. There was a foundation laid. I don't want to say that our job is easy because it's not. It's a lot of pressure. I used to say when I was at Brunswick how I'd love to be part of a program like Strongsville or Medina, and Coach Felton told me it's a whole different set of problems, and he's right. It is. But we got an awesome group of parents. We had a couple of rough years with that, but we got such a supportive group right now that I think the last 4 years is why we've had so much success.
Yeah, I think that's important too, is to have that support from the families and everything, because there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, like you said, traveling and everything. Paying for their summer clubs and everything like that. I mean, there's a lot really that goes in it to keep them in it and involved, and I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Like you said, you remember those times. I remember baseball traveling all over the place playing, and my parents say the same thing. They loved going. It's just the whole experience. You'll never forget.
I used to travel. My younger brother, played for Coach Brad back in the 90s, and we went all over the place there. And I didn't even play it, but I still remember all the trips to Ann Arbor.
Those were always fun.
Ann Arbor,
South Bend.
Those are two of my favorite ones that they've been to. I've been a football coach for 16 years, and I think I had an out a couple years ago. My cousin Timmy was the kicker at Brunswick. His name's Timmy Dick. I was like, all right, I think I can get out here. And then I had a senior right after him. Like, all right, well, I got to see this one through. And then I have a junior kicker this year who's going to be pretty good. You guys may know him. His name's Justin Hagler. He will be the presumptive stud of Brunswick soccer. 2 more years there. Can't get out of it. Before I know it, it'll be freaking 30 years in, and my wife will be like, "What do you got? When are we stopping this?"
and that was like this year. I was more than ready to be done after last season, but after taking the 3-4 months after the season to really think about where we're at, the way last year ended,
now you're back for more.
It's driving me nuts.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go out like that. So who knows? Unless the way out is going to be winning a state championship, and I'll leave my bag on the sideline and walk out of there and be done with it.
No pressure, ladies.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Seriously.
No pressure.
Man.
No, so from your guys' end as players, we were a little bit older, but this, you see how much the coaching aspect of it means, and for you guys, enjoy everything that you're doing right now, because it's awesome. Like, if any of us can go back and do it again, we would trade places with you in no time.
Yeah.
So that said, I understand you guys did some traveling this summer for your club teams. Where's the farthest places you guys have been to play from your club levels, or any other teams?
Oh, we went to Vegas in March.
Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man,
that was a fun
League.
trip.
It was so much fun.
Wow. How'd you guys do out there?
We won, lost, and tied.
A little bit of everything there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think.
My farthest this year was Seattle, Washington.
Man.
How was Seattle? I heard that's a pretty cool place.
Was it raining there?
Pretty. No, it didn't rain, but it was like 60. It wasn't that nice out.
How'd you guys do out there?
We lost all 3.
But the experience they
The
gained.
experience was great.
Yeah, that's right. That's what matters. You gotta learn from it. But Vegas is the dry heat. It's like 100. I've been out. My aunt lives out there. It's 114, but she's like, it's dry heat out here, so it's not bad. I'm like, that is hot. I don't care.
Didn't work.
It wasn't that hot when we were there. It was really, really windy.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys get to go on the strip at all?
Mm-hmm. Our hotel was like 15 minutes from the strip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the strip, there's a lot to see there, with
the
MGM
people
Grand.
watching, right?
Oh, yeah. That too, yeah. You could sit there for hours.
Right.
So you're Haley, once again committed to Indiana. Do you know what you're going to study while you're out there yet? Or just kinda,
no idea.
I don't blame you. Take your time. You don't need to worry about that yet. Katie, you're uncommitted. Is there any specific schools is there a group of schools you're looking at specifically, or a program academically that you're looking at?
There's 4 schools on my radar right now, but I'm not for sure on if I want to play right now. So I'm figuring that out. But I know that I want to do education as my major and maybe minor in coaching.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. Very nice.
It's not a bad gig.
Come for my job.
Get summers off.
Yeah.
Never a bad thing.
Yeah, seriously. That's what I need. Summer's off this year.
So thank you again for thank you for coming on our show today. Is there anything else, any last comments, anything you want to talk about for this upcoming season? Any So I know the goal is always stay or bust. Do you guys have personal goals of your own that would fit into the team frame? Like, do you want to score a certain amount of goals, or do you want to take X amount of people out?
That might be a new stat this year.
Yeah.
Mine's more of a team where we all become like closer together on and off the field, so we can play together on the field, and then hopefully it'll show off and make it farther than districts, because I haven't made it out of there since I was a freshman.
Very good.
Yeah, I agree with Haley. If we stay really close, because I remember my freshman year, all of the seniors made every single person feel welcome, and we were a really close knit group, and those seniors were really close, and they helped lead us to the state semifinal 4.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal. Get everybody together and bond, especially on those trips. I think when you travel a lot.
Do you guys have any you guys have any trips scheduled or anything like that?
No, Maryland. What's that team called? McDonough.
Yeah.
From Only Maryland. They're coming in this year, and then next year when we finally get rid of Katie, then we're heading out that way to play 2 games with a New Jersey team and
That'll be fun.
That McDonough school.
Well, maybe she'll tag along though.
Yeah.
She's just
She'll come back.
miserable on the bus ride, so it's just easier to go without her.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you guys.
We want to thank once again Coach Brad Warnarski, again, true friend of show status. Thank you for continually coming on and talking about your program. We enjoy talking about.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime.
Along with junior forward Haley Anspach and senior defender Katie Neat. Excellent interview. Thank you so much, and good luck. And we'll catch up with you guys after the season.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
We're gonna step away for a minute. When we come back, we will have Brian Dulick on. We'll talk a little bit about the Cavs off season. Obviously, a couple of major things happened over the course of the last couple of weeks, but he'll break all that down for us and what the outlook is for the Cavs is coming up. And then Rob and I may talk about the game of foaling later.
I know. I still want to know what that is. I saw your picture, and I'm really intrigued, and I want to hear your description of it and how
it's pretty much the best game ever.
Well,
if you're unathletic.
So anyone listening,
you can throw a football.
Anyone listening, you can't go anywhere. You got to hear what Ed has to say for that, because I'm intrigued too.
All right, so we'll step away for a break, and we'll catch you on the other side with Brian Dulick.